Welcome back to the channel where we peel back the layers of what you thought you knew and dive deep into the mysteries that shape our world. Today, we're embarking on a mind-bending journey into a hypothetical future, a world entirely free of disease. Sounds like paradise, right? But all is not as it seems. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. Alright, let's get started. Imagine a world where every cough, every fever, every terrifying diagnosis at a doctor's office was nothing but a distant memory of a bygone era. Sounds like a plot ripped right from a sci-fi blockbuster, doesn't it? But let's fasten our metaphorical tinfoil hats and dive deep into this utopia. Or is it a potential dystopia? Starting with the Black Death in the Middle Ages that wiped out a third of Europe's population to the more recent horrors of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, diseases have ruthlessly shaped human history. They've controlled populations, influenced economies, and even redirected the paths of entire civilizations. Imagine all that just gone. Now, how could such a miraculous world come about? Cue the dramatic entrance of technology and medical breakthroughs. We're talking about gene editing technologies like CRISPR, vaccines developed at warp speed, and AI systems that can predict outbreaks before they even happen. These aren't mere fragments of some mad scientist's dream, but are realities that are being developed right now. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if, one day, all these innovations converge to eradicate diseases entirely? What if every malicious microbe and bumbling bacterium that ever dared to invade a human body was obliterated? Just when you think we're about to roll credits on disease and suffering, there's a twist. What happens next in our story? Does humanity live happily ever after, with health and vigor? Or does this new chapter of human history come with its own set of unforeseen challenges and dark turns? Imagine every baby born today has a near-guaranteed ticket to a long, disease-free life. Sounds like a cause for celebration. But what happens when nobody checks out early from the hotel called Earth? You guessed it, the numbers start to stack up. We're not just talking about a cozy family gathering. We're talking about a full-blown planetary house party. According to projections, the global population, which stands at over 7 billion today, could skyrocket in a disease-free world. The United Nations, which keeps a close eye on these things, has already sounded alarms about reaching nearly 10 billion by 2050 under current conditions. Remove disease from the equation, and those numbers could go off the charts. Life expectancy would soar. Imagine living to 100 being the norm rather than the exception. Cities, already bursting at their seams, would face unprecedented strain. We'd need more of everything: more food, more water, more space, more everything. And this isn't just about having enough room to stretch your legs. It's about having enough resources to keep that quality of life we just improved by kicking diseases to the curb. Now imagine every city turning into a scene from those overcrowded dystopian movies where people are packed like sardines. Skyscrapers stretching to the skies as far as the eye can see, trying desperately to house a burgeoning population. Rural areas swallowed up by the ever-expanding urban sprawl. But here's the real kicker. What happens when there are too many people and not enough pie to go around? The plot thickens. How does humanity handle it? Do we innovate our way out? Or does this become the opening scene for conflicts over cramped space and limited resources? Imagine waking up in a world where the morning rush isn't just about beating traffic, but about whether you'll get your slice of bread for the day. With the global population booming as no one succumbs to disease, the demand for essentials like water, food, and energy skyrockets. But Earth's pantry isn't getting any bigger. Its shelves are finite and can only hold so much. Water, the source of life, right? Well, in our crowded future, it could also become a source of strife. Freshwater resources that are already under severe stress today could become the battlegrounds of tomorrow. Picture rivers and lakes, overdrawn and polluted, becoming the flashpoints for conflicts as countries and communities clash over dwindling supplies. Food scarcity follows right on water's heels. With more mouths to feed, agricultural systems struggle to keep up, despite advances in technology. The land, much of it overtaken by urban expansion, fails to yield the bounty needed to feed a crowded world. High-tech farming and genetically modified crops offer some hope, but can they outpace the surging demand? And let's not forget energy. A bigger population not only needs more to eat and drink, but also more power to light up the vast stretches of megacities, to fuel the vehicles that swarm the highways, and to run the factories that must work overtime to supply an ever-hungry consumer base. Renewable energy sources are part of the solution, but the transition might not keep up with the pace of population growth. The specter of conflict looms large in this resource-constrained world. Nations might find themselves in a new kind of warfare, not over ideologies or territories, but over the basic building blocks of life: water, food, and energy. But here's a thought. Could this crisis force us to innovate like never before, or will it plunge us into chaos? With disease out of the picture, we have a booming population living longer than ever. Now, this aging populace might not be battling traditional diseases, but they'll still need care. Think age-related conditions that won't just disappear because pathogens have. The demand shifts from curing illness to maintaining wellness and managing the ailments of old age. Then there's the workforce to consider. A healthier population means a more robust workforce, capable of working longer and retiring later. This could boost economic productivity initially. However, it also means that younger generations might find it tougher to climb the career ladder with the old guard holding onto their roles for longer. Plus, the pension systems will be under tremendous strain. Can economies adjust their sails swiftly enough to manage these longer, healthier lives without capsizing? And here's another economic curveball: technology. The same innovations that helped kick diseases to the curb might start replacing human jobs. Automation and AI could take over roles across industries, from manufacturing to services. What happens when you have more people and fewer jobs? It's a recipe for social and economic upheaval. As the global economy adjusts, we might see a shift in global power dynamics too. Countries that adapt quickly to these changes could prosper, becoming new economic leaders, while others could falter under the pressure. First off, consider the monumental power of genetic engineering and life extension technologies. These aren't just scientific marvels. They're Pandora's boxes of ethical conundrums. Who gets to access these life-saving and extending technologies? In our current world, economic disparities already dictate who can afford cutting-edge healthcare. In a disease-free future, these disparities could grow exponentially, turning basic healthcare into a luxury commodity. Imagine a world where only the wealthy can afford to live disease-free, while the less fortunate are left to fend off the remnants of genetic disorders or rare, uneradicated diseases. And then, there's the role of governments and corporations in this new world. With the power to extend life, who gets to pull the strings? Could we see a rise in corporate immortality, where the rich not only get richer, but longer lived? This isn't just about health equity. It's about power dynamics reshaping under the guise of healthcare. Moreover, think about the societal impact of radically extended lifespans. Traditions, social structures, and cultural norms would all undergo seismic shifts. Marriage till death do us part could look very different when both parties might live to be 150. How does society adapt to generations of families living concurrently for extended periods? The fabric of community and traditional roles might stretch or even tear under such conditions. Ethically, the questions spiral. Is it right to engineer a perfect human free from all disease? What does it mean for human diversity and the acceptance of imperfection, disability, and the natural processes of aging and death? These are philosophical quandaries that touch on the very essence of what it means to be human. As human numbers swell in our disease-free utopia, so does the demand for housing, food, and transportation. Forests, the lungs of our planet, might be felled at an even faster rate to accommodate expanding urban landscapes. The resulting loss of biodiversity is not just about losing a species or two. It's about destabilizing ecosystems that regulate everything from the air we breathe to the water cycle that sustains us. Consider the agricultural demands of a burgeoning population. More people means more mouths to feed, leading to intensified agricultural practices. This could mean more pesticides, more fertilizers, and more water usage, all of which could lead to ecological degradation. Soil depletion, water scarcity, and chemical runoff could turn fertile lands into barren wastelands, undermining the very foundation of our food security. Then, there's the issue of energy consumption. A larger population living longer lives will undoubtedly consume more energy. While renewable energy sources like solar and wind are on the rise, the transition might not keep pace with the growing demand. This could lead to increased reliance on fossil fuels in the short term, accelerating climate change and its associated calamities, more intense storms, more severe droughts, and more unpredictable weather patterns. And let's not forget waste. More people equals more waste production, whether it's plastic, electronic waste, or household garbage. The challenge of managing this waste without choking our planet becomes even more daunting. How do we sustain a clean, healthy environment when every corner of the globe is packed with people and their byproducts? And there we have it. A journey through a world without disease, exploring every unexpected twist and turning every dark corner. What started as a utopian dream quickly unraveled into a series of complex, interlinked challenges that tested our understanding of health, society, and the planet itself. Remember, the pursuit of knowledge isn't about finding a comfortable truth, but about challenging our perceptions and staying open to the unimaginable. If you found this dive into the hypothetical enlightening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our adventures into the unknown. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What do you think a disease-free world would really look like? And what topics should we unravel next?